the same Republicans who say we cannot trust the government insisted today that there is one agency above suspicion, one government agency which would never, ever lie. The CIA. This despite today's admission from the CIA that while it is not CIA policy to lie, it wants credit for the CIA director telling Congress about times the CIA did lie anyway. Our fifth story tonight, the CIA coyly confirming last night's blockbuster revelation that Director Leon Panetta told Congress itself last month that yes, just as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said, the CIA has misled Congress since 2001. After House Democrats last night revealed a letter they had sent to Panetta on June 26th, referring to secret testimony he gave them as recently as 2 days prior, saying, quote, you testified that you have determined that top CIA officials have concealed significant actions from all members of Congress and misled members for a number of years from 2001 to this week. Based on that, the Democrats asked Panetta to revise his previous claim that it was not CIA policy or practice to mislead Congress. Today, the agency both stood by Panetta's statement that concealing things from Congress is not policy, but also implicitly confirmed the letter's central claim that Panetta revealed times when it happened anyway. Quote, it was the CIA itself that took the initiative to notify the oversight committees. Notify of what? A matter still classified, still unknown. This admission, however, insufficient to derail Republican politics. Republican Pete Hoekstra 2 years ago said CIA briefers were not being forthcoming to him and Congress, suggesting today that Democrats are revealing Panetta's admission only to support a new bill that would give Congress more control over the briefings it gets from the CIA and thereby vindicate Pelosi's claim of inadequate briefings. House Republican leader John Boehner today explaining that government spies are totally trustworthy.
I've worked closely with our intelligence professionals, and they are that, professionals. And I do not believe that the CIA lied to Congress. I'm still waiting for Speaker Pelosi to either put up the facts or retract her statement and apologize.
Speaker Pelosi, as Mr. Boehner knows full well, prohibited by law from producing facts about her 2002 briefing when she says she was not told about contemporary U.S. waterboarding. Today, she not only not apologizing for calling out CIA deception, but hinting that Congress is not yet done dealing with Mr. Panetta's secret briefing.
The fact is that there is a briefing that is of serious concern to members of the committee, and they have their course of action to deal with it.
Joining us tonight, New Jersey Congressman Rush Holt, who not only sits on the House Intelligence Committee, but was one of the signatories of that June letter to Director Panetta. Great. Thanks for your time tonight, Congressman.
Good to be with you.
Do we have the parsing correct here? Is the CIA sticking to its story that deceiving Congress is not its policy nor its official practice, but neither will the CIA deny that sometimes it happened anyway? Is that consistent with Director Panetta's testimony to you?
You know, I think that's what the CIA is saying, although part of the reason we released the letter was that we got no response from the director, no action on the letter. What we were saying was his statement in May, knowing what he knows and we know now, clearly was false. Now, we're not just trying to catch him in a falsehood or ask for an apology or try to be let in on a secret here. The point we're trying to make is that there's a pattern of denial and deception, a pattern that ultimately affects the security of Americans, because unexamined behavior, which is this pattern over not just the months, but the years and the decades, the unexamined behavior can lead to dangerous damage.
Congressman, we had a glitch, and in talking about CIA openness, the picture and the sound suddenly went dead, which is kind of an irony by itself.
Well, it's good to be back with you. It is ironic, isn't it? I'm not sure where we were when you lost me, but what we were saying in the letter was that the statement of May 4th was inaccurate. He knows it now, we know it now, but we're not trying to catch him in that and ask for an apology or to be let in on that secret. The point is we're trying to establish that there is a pattern of denial and deception, and ultimately that pattern hurts the national security, the safety of Americans, because the point here is this powerful organization, if it runs without oversight, if it is unexamined, if you don't know who's minding the store, real damage can be done. Damage to people here and abroad. And so it's not about an internal beltway, inside the beltway tiff. It's not about who knew what when, and it's not to catch catch Mr. Panetta in, a gotcha. It is to establish the fact that Congress must exert oversight for the sake of the safety of the American people. And, whether it's destroying tapes, as we know the CIA did, or in a completely separate incident, the CIA Inspector General said, quote, "The CIA did not fulfill its legal obligation to keep Congress and the National Security Council fully informed. The agency denied Congress, the NSC, and the Department of Justice access to the findings." Or whether it's, as Mr. Hoekstra, you quoted him earlier, he said, not so long ago, that we cannot have a community that operates outside the law, covers up what it does, and lies to Congress. I mean, there are plenty of examples of this. This letter that you're referring to that was released yesterday refers to only one, but in egregious examples. A serious matter that went unexamined by Congress because it was unknown to anyone in Congress for many years.
Well, and to that point, whereas secondarily in terms of the importance in the overall structure of the relationship between the CIA and the country, never mind just the Congress, secondarily there is this surprise that is referred to somewhat obliquely in here. Congresswoman Eshoo reported to the Huffington Post that Mr. Panetta stopped one program the day after he learned about it on June 23rd, that your whole committee, she termed it as, was stunned to learn what had been kept secret. Obviously, it's a secret. Was this something that we did not know about previously? Is there anything around the corners that you can tell us about it?
We can't talk. I can't talk. None of us can talk about the contents of that briefing. You'll note the tone of our letter is not accusatory of Mr. Panetta. It's true. He came to us voluntarily. It certainly raises questions why in May, after he'd been director for many months, he came to reveal this. I believe that it just came to his attention. This culture of concealment, which can be really dangerous. I mean, some of us in our generation remember Shamrock and COINTELPRO and some of these things from the 60s and the 70s that gave rise to the need for congressional oversight, the creation of the oversight committees in the first place. This is something that is not new.
The Republican suggestion here that this new intelligence bill with the tougher congressional oversight about CIA briefings is there to protect the Speaker, to backfill her claims about the past. But the provisions actually predate what the Speaker said about CIA lack of full clarity. What is the impetus for trying to change the nature of the briefings?
I've been on the Intelligence Committee for a few years now, and anyone who has served on that committee for any length of time and is straightforward will tell you, yes, there's denial and deception by the intelligence community. No, not all the time. Many of these people are conscientious, patriotic, well-intentioned, and very able Americans. But we play 20 questions with them. They'll come to us. If we don't ask the right question, they won't tell us any answer. That is so often the case. Not all the time. Not everything is kept from Congress. Not by any means. But the fact that these major dangerous activities would be conducted without any oversight whatsoever, they shouldn't even want that risk.
Indeed. Congressman Rush Holt of the Intelligence Committee, greater thanks than ever for your time tonight and bearing with us during the technical problems. A coincidence, no doubt.
A coincidence.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.